Do you still think burgers are a quick, nutritious, and convenient fast food option? For millions of Americans, it's now just a matter of belated regret. Because it's not just about the increasingly bland taste or the meat that no longer tastes like meat. Many famous burger chains are making their customers' health pay a much higher price. Poor quality ingredients, increasingly shrinking portions, unreasonably high prices, and the silent risks to cardiovascular health that come with them. Everything is turning what was once considered a small pleasure into a burden no one wants to carry. We've all seen the quality decline while prices keep going up. You put in your hard-earned money, and all you get in return is disappointment. It feels like the brands we grew up with, the names that were synonymous with childhood and trust for decades, are slowly losing their way. In today's video, we'll pull back the curtain and reveal 8 burger chains you should avoid at all costs. Believe me, after you know the whole truth, you'll understand why many Americans have vowed to never use these names again. A hot burger from a global brand at an affordable price. Sounds like an unmissable bargain. But the harsh reality is that McDonald's isn't just selling you burgers. Sometimes they're handing you a one-way ticket to the emergency room. McDonald's has long been an icon of fast food in the United States, with over 13,400 locations nationwide, famous for its Big Mac and crispy golden fries. Thanks to their massive scale and innovations like online ordering and home delivery, they have maintained their title as the king of fast food. However, behind that glamorous facade lies an unacceptable truth. A McDonald's burger might save you a few minutes of your day, fill you up for 10 minutes. But it can also silently ruin your health over 10 years. Each seemingly harmless bite carries the potential risk of E. coli infection, a reality for dozens of Americans after eating a Quarter Pounder. According to The Guardian, as of the end of 2024, there have been at least 104 infections in 14 states, including life-threatening cases and 34 people hospitalized for serious complications. A preliminary investigation by the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, suggests the cause may be raw onion slices in the burgers. A small detail, but enough to turn a fast food meal into a hazard. E. coli can cause diarrhea, abdominal pain and fever. And in the elderly or those with weakened immune systems, it can also lead to kidney failure and even be life-threatening. Under public pressure, McDonald's was forced to recall the Quarter Pounder from approximately 1/5 of its stores nationwide and pay over $5 million in compensation. But let's put things into perspective. For a global corporation, that's just a number that can be quickly offset by a few advertising campaigns. And for consumers who have already suffered or are suffering from the after effects of a burger, their health, trust, and even their lives, these are things that can never be recovered. However, there are still ways for Americans to maintain their culinary enjoyment without sacrificing their health. Instead of rushing into a fast food restaurant, you can buy ingredients from reputable supermarkets like Costco or Walmart. Choose labeled beef patties from large farms. Wash the vegetables with salt water and prepare them yourself in your own kitchen. A delicious grilled burger with a few slices of tomato and some greens. But most importantly, the warmth of family as the whole family prepares dinner together. At that moment, the burger was no longer a threat, but returned to its true nature. A simple, safe, and unifying joy. If a cheap burger can trigger a health tragedy, what else can we trust on our daily dinner tables? And when profits are placed above human safety, can any brand truly keep its promise to its customers? But McDonald's isn't the only name in the game. Moving on to the next section, we'll take a look at Wendy's, where the slogan "fresh" might just be a layer of advertising, hiding many things that make consumers wonder. Wendy's was once considered one of America's fast food icons. The image of always fresh, never frozen beef once helped this brand stand out, creating a sense of closeness and realness compared to its competitors. But the media and the truth have never spoken the same language. On online forums like Reddit, numerous comments expressed disappointment. The burgers were drier, had less juice, and the filling was so thin that I felt like I paid $5 just to eat 2 pieces of soft bread sandwiched together. While this isn't legal evidence, it reflects a reality: the growing gap between the promise of freshness and the actual customer experience. That dispute once escalated into litigation. In 2022, Wendy's faced a class action lawsuit alleging false advertising of the size of its cheeseburgers. Consumers complained that the advertising images were significantly exaggerated, while in reality, the meat was much smaller and shrank by about 25% after cooking. The lawsuit was ultimately dismissed, but the lasting impact was a loss of trust, when the image on the poster no longer matched the food placed on the table. Beyond just appearance, Wendy's burgers also pose potential long-term health risks. A burger can contain a large amount of saturated fat and sodium, which contributes to increased bad cholesterol (LDL) and promotes plaque buildup in blood vessels. According to the American Heart Association, a diet high in saturated fat from processed foods can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 23% in people over 45. For the elderly, the consequences are not just a number on the scale, but can include high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammation, or even a sudden heart attack. And just like McDonald's, Wendy's also found itself in the midst of a food crisis. In 2022, the CDC investigated an E. coli O157:H7 outbreak linked to romaine lettuce sandwiches at Wendy's. The results recorded at least 97 infections in 6 states, with 43 people requiring hospitalization and some patients developing severe complications leading to kidney failure syndrome. Once again, what was advertised as fresh turned out to be the cause of consumers ending up in the hospital. However, the solution isn't an absolute no to burgers. Sometimes small changes make a big difference. Try turning the burger into a family ritual instead of a quick meal. Choose your own ingredients, add herbs, tomatoes, or even get creative with quinoa, mushrooms, or grilled fish fillets. At that moment, a burger was no longer a soulless calorie bomb, but became a precious memory. The Wendy's story reveals a paradox. The more the brand tries to sell trust through words, the more real-life experiences and health incidents expose deep, unhealed cracks. If even the promise of freshness is just a marketing facade, what can we believe from the fast food industry? There was a time when Burger King was considered a worthy competitor to McDonald's, with many even calling the brand the rebel of the fast food industry. Its giant Whopper and the slogan "Have it your way" captivated customers. However, looking at the recent situation, perhaps the king is losing his own throne. The question is no longer how successful Burger King once was, but why the brand has fallen into such a struggling state. Many loyal customers have reported that the taste of the Whopper today is not the same as it used to be. Some say the meat is less fresh, the bread is no longer fluffy, and even the vegetables lack crispness. Those small details, when added up, have made the Whopper lose the soul that once made it different. Meanwhile, fierce competition from emerging chains like Five Guys, Shake Shack, or even Wendy's makes it even harder for Burger King to maintain its position. Financially speaking, the numbers speak for themselves. According to Restaurant Business Online, Burger King's system-wide revenue in the US decreased by approximately 2.7% in 2023 compared to the previous year, while many of its competitors in the same segment still recorded slight growth. This isn't the biggest drop in the industry, but it's enough to signal the reality that Burger King is no longer as favored by customers as it once was. While other competitors are improving their menus and investing in their image, Burger King is struggling to reposition its brand. Not a few food industry experts believe that Burger King is stuck in a half-hearted strategy. On the one hand, they want to keep prices low to compete with McDonald's. On the other hand, they are also striving to launch premium products to attract young, experience-seeking customers. The result is that the brand doesn't really stand out in any segment. While McDonald's consistently launches digital promotions and maintains stable quality, Burger King spends hundreds of millions of USD on advertising, yet its brand effectiveness continues to decline. However, there is still a way out. Many experts believe Burger King can learn from how major brands like McDonald's have done. Improve the digital experience, maintain consistent quality across all locations, and reaffirm core values instead of chasing short-term trends. If Burger King wants to keep its title as the King, the Whopper needs to rediscover its lost soul, the simplicity and richness that kept loyal customers coming back for decades. Will Burger King have the patience and determination to regain its position, or will its throne only remain a memory in the minds of older generations of customers? In California, In-N-Out Burger was once considered a living legend, an iconic brand representing West Coast culture, where both tourists and locals were willing to wait in long lines just to get their hands on a seemingly perfect burger. However, beneath that aura of glory, silent questions arose. Would this myth endure, or was it merely a warning whisper for a generation of consumers weary of calorie-laden burgers and health risks? It's often said that In-N-Out is different because it sticks to its traditional recipe, doesn't expand too quickly, and always gives a fresh feeling. But when those slogans were put to the test, many customers shared contrasting experiences. The meat was sometimes dry, the vegetables weren't as fresh as expected, and the feeling of specialness gradually faded. On social media, many comments suggest that In-N-Out is relying more on its past reputation than its actual quality today. Behind those praises and criticisms lies a sobering reality. The burger portions at In-N-Out, though considered lighter than their competitors, still contain higher levels of fat and salt than recommended for a balanced meal. According to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, consuming too much sodium-rich food can increase the risk of high blood pressure, a condition that affected over 45% of American adults in 2021. This number reflects a reality. Even seemingly safer choices in the fast food industry are still within the danger zone. In-N-Out also faces pressure from its own popularity. As customer volume surges, maintaining consistent quality across all branches becomes a challenge. Some customers have complained about excessively long wait times, while the food didn't meet their expectations. From then on, cracks began to appear in the belief in the California myth. However, not all doors are closed. Consumers can still enjoy a proper burger by opting for safer and more transparent choices. Brands like Trader Joe's have developed a variety of organic, low-sodium and low-saturated fat food lines, providing peace of mind for those who still love the taste of burgers but want to protect their long-term health. A homemade burger made with clean ingredients, plus green vegetables and whole grains, can evoke the deliciousness of the past while easing lingering concerns about illness. If even an iconic Dream of California brand like In-N-Out is becoming a warning sign, then what brand can fully maintain Americans' trust in a burger that is both delicious and safe? A handcrafted burger wrapped in shiny foil with the promise of made-on-the-spot, quality ingredients. That's how Five Guys has captured the hearts of many Americans for decades. However, behind that high-end label, an increasing number of customers are beginning to ask, are they paying for genuine quality or just an illusion of difference? In recent years, social media has been flooded with mixed reactions. Some people praised the fresh flavor, but many complained that prices had skyrocketed. A simple meal of a burger, fries, and soda at Five Guys can cost over $0, a price that is not insignificant for many American families. And when the burger was placed down, not everyone felt it was worth the money. The filling was sometimes unbalanced, the bun was soggy, or it had a greasy feeling. Those experiences left many customers going from expectation to disappointment in just a few minutes. What makes the issue even more painful is the potential health burden. According to data from the American Nutrition Association, USDA, 2023, an average burger serving at fast food chains can contain up to 1,000 calories and nearly half the recommended daily saturated fat intake. With Five Guys, where the portions are famously generous, that number is even higher. This means that just one meal can cause older adults, a group prone to cardiovascular and blood pressure issues, to exceed their daily safe limits, leading to silent but dangerous consequences. But this doesn't mean consumers have to give up their love for burgers entirely. There are still more balanced and safer alternatives. For example, Kroger, one of America's largest supermarket chains, has introduced several lines of frozen burger products made from lean meat with reduced saturated fat and transparent sourcing. By choosing these products themselves and adding green vegetables, tomatoes, and a little whole grain, consumers can save money while also ensuring their health. If a regular burger is already out of reach for many people in terms of both price and nutrition, does the so-called premium in fast food still make sense? Or is it just a facade that makes us pay more for an increasingly empty value? Amidst the highways of the American South, the image of a car parked right in front of the Sonic drive-in service counter once evoked a unique, nostalgic, and upscale feeling in its own way. People don't have to crowd into restaurants. They just press a button to order, and a few minutes later, a tray of hot food is delivered directly to their car window. But does that visual appeal, with its brightly lit neon signs and festive atmosphere, truly reflect the quality inside each burger? Or is it all just a thin coat of paint covering the real wall that's slowly cracking? In reality, more and more consumers are sharing mixed experiences. Some people describe the burgers at Sonic as dry, lacking flavor, with small and less fresh patties compared to the advertising images. Some complaints are that the flavor is overwhelmed by salt and oil, making the post-meal feeling heavy rather than satisfying. These things, though personal, have created a common picture. Premium seems to be just a marketing tactic, while the actual experience falls far short of expectations. The issue goes beyond just taste. According to data from the US National Institutes of Health, NIH, 2023, a single serving of fast food at chains like Sonic can contain up to 37% of the maximum recommended daily sodium intake for an adult. For Americans over 55, who are already at high risk for cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure, that number is like a warning. As sodium accumulates over time, it can silently damage blood vessels, leading to high blood pressure and paving the way for more serious complications. However, there's still another path for those who want to enjoy a burger without worrying about the coating on the outside. Brands like Sprouts Farmers Market have developed a wide range of organic and low-sodium products, offering greater safety and transparency. Choosing these ingredients yourself, baking them at home, and adding green vegetables not only helps protect your health, but also turns the burger into a family bonding experience, something no fast food chain can replicate. If a brand once considered unique and premium like Sonic only offers a flashy coat of paint, where can we find a burger that is both a perfect memory and worthy of our trust for the future? In the world of fast food, Shake Shack was once considered a breath of fresh air, a brand that brought a premium touch to the familiar burger. The image of a modern store with green hues, a shiny service counter, and close-up shots of tempting burgers has led many to believe this is a more upscale option compared to McDonald's or Burger King. But when that glamorous veneer is peeled back, the real experience sometimes leaves only a faint aftertaste. Premium on the bill, but mediocre in the mouth. It's not hard to find disappointed posts on social media. Some customers complain that the meat patty in the Shake Shack burger is smaller, drier, and less juicy than expected. The vegetable and bun portions are not much different from cheaper chains. The premium feeling this brand promises seems to be only in the packaging, not in every bite. When spending nearly $5 to $20 on a meal, many diners wonder, am I paying for the taste or just the brand? behind that personal experience lies a broader reality. Shake Shack is not immune to the nutritional issues inherent in the fast food industry. According to data from the Harvard School of Public Health, 2022, a gourmet burger from premium chains can contain up to 40% of the recommended daily saturated fat intake, and often exceeds safe sodium levels when served with fries and soda. This means that despite the higher price, the health impact is not significantly different from traditional fast food brands. For people over 55 who are more susceptible to cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes, choosing Shake Shack is sometimes just a brand change, not a fundamental one. However, there are still other options for those who want to eat a delicious burger while also protecting their health. Whole Foods Market has introduced a variety of organic meats, clean vegetables, and whole grain buns, allowing consumers to create their own truly premium burger, not just in price, but also in the peace of mind that comes with enjoying it. Gathering around the stove one evening, grilling your own meat and adding some green vegetables can provide a more complete experience than any restaurant. If a brand lauded as premium, like Shake Shack, only offers superficial glamour, then what is the true measure of a burger's value? Taste, health, or just the name printed on the packaging? Jack in the Box, with its cheerful box-shaped logo and the image of a clown wearing a smiling hat, was once a brand that brought excitement to many American families. For many people, it evokes memories of long road trips, quick stops for a midnight snack, or a surprise burger that quelled their hunger. But just like Pandora's box in mythology, behind that entertaining facade lies much that will startle consumers. Once opened, it's difficult to predict what will escape. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC 2022, fast food, which is high in saturated fat and sodium, is one of the factors that increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, a condition that accounts for approximately 1/5 of adult deaths in the United States each year. Jack in the Box, with many burgers exceeding 700 to 800 calories and high in salt, is contributing to pushing consumers into this concerning trajectory. For older customers, the consequences may not appear immediately, but they accumulate day by day, becoming a health burden later on. However, there is still another way. Consumers can absolutely enjoy burgers without compromising their health. Supermarket chains like Costco have introduced a wide range of high-quality organic foods and lean frozen meats, allowing customers to make their own burgers at home. At that time, the meal was not only more delicious, but also became an opportunity to bond with family, restoring the true value of a burger. Simple joy, unmixed with worry. If the Pandora's box named Jack in the Box has unleashed too much anxiety, is there any other fast food brand capable of fully maintaining the trust of Americans for a safe and worthwhile meal? Looking back at the entire fast food landscape, from McDonald's to Jack in the Box, one thing becomes strikingly clear. The burgers that were once symbols of joy and convenience have now become a silent warning about lost health and trust. Each brand may differ in its slogans and advertising colors, but they all pose the same big question to American society. Are we sacrificing too much just for a few minutes of convenience? And if even brands once hailed as legendary have shown cracks, what's left for us to truly trust when putting a burger on the family dinner table? What do you think? Is there any brand that can fully maintain trust, or is the only solution to regain control of your own meals? Please share your thoughts in the comments section, because who knows, your experience could be a wake-up call for thousands of others. If you find this video valuable and helpful in opening up a new perspective, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next stories. The journey to uncover the truth behind every meal continues, and we will walk it together. The content in this video is created for informational and analytical purposes only, and does not substitute for medical, nutritional, or legal advice. The figures and examples cited are drawn from press sources, public research, and consumer experiences, which may change over time. Viewers should consider, research further, and consult with experts before making any decisions regarding their health or diet. We do not represent, are not affiliated with, nor do we endorse the official views of any of the brands mentioned.